I walk through the shadow of death left to fear. This is a journey through the halls of hell.
Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with a little review for you. This week I want to talk about the TV show Gangs of London. It currently has 3 seasons and I just finished watching all 3 seasons in the last few weeks. It's created and produced, and also many episodes are written and directed by Gareth Evans. If you don't know who Gareth Evans is, he made, in my opinion, the single greatest action movie of all time in The Raid. He is but a humble director from Wales, so he actually wrote the script for The Raid, then had it translated into Indonesian, then went to Indonesia and filmed it. He also directed The Raid 2. He recently did the movie with Tom Hardy, Havoc, on Netflix, which I'm also looking forward to seeing but have not yet seen. But basically, long story short, Gareth Evans directed The fucking Raid, and if you're like me and you understand that it is actually the greatest action movie of all time, if not like top 3 or something, legitimately, ever, then you will support everything he ever does because he is just that good. And that's the box I find myself in. I think this guy is such a good action choreographer, such a good action director, knows just how long to film action moments, knows the exact angles, when to pan. He's just absolutely world class at it. In fact, between him and the guys that directed the John Wick franchise, they kind of ruined every other action franchise for me, because they're the 2 benchmarks when it comes to action. The Raid is the benchmark for unarmed combat action sequences, and John Wick is the benchmark for pistol action sequences. And everything outside of those 2 franchises now falls short for me because they were both so expertly and brilliantly done. So anyway, off the back of directing the greatest action movie of all time, Sky threw all the money at Gareth Evans and allowed him to create his own show. And what we get is Gangs of London. It takes place in a modern London setting and it's very multicultural, and I feel like it actually shows the real gang landscape in a more honest way than any other crime thing that has been filmed in London does. Most traditional London crime things still have that white Cockney gangster ruling everything, and while there is still a pocket of that, and they are included as one of the primary families in this show, the modern landscape of criminal gangs in London is very non-white. These dudes do not rule, and if they do, they're probably Russian guys. Them old Cockney guys just did not have enough AK-47s to hold the fort down long enough. So yeah, this show has an honest approach to the sort of gang landscape, because yes, you have the Wallace family, who are the white, traditional Irish immigrant sort of family who now rule as the white Cockney gangsters. There's also the black crime family, the Dumanis, who are led by a guy who played the pirate in Game of Thrones, who gets Davos his ships to help Stannis. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones, that last sentence means nothing to you. If you have, you'll be like, oh, that guy. But then there's also the Pakistan Mafia, there's the Albanians, the Kurds, the Triads, you get a Georgian gang coming into it, you get Irish traveller gypsies, you get Irish militia, IRA type people. And then above all these gangs is really secretive, high-end business finance people who are just referred to throughout the show as the investors. And above all the gangs, they're the people that put the huge amounts of money into finance and the construction of buildings and things like that, which is some of the more high-end things these gangs are involved in. So the landscape is absolutely vast. Like, you could kill off 5 entire crime families in one season of this show, and at the end of the season, you would never find yourself saying, what are they going to do next season? Because there's still like 15 others at any given time. They throw in so many. And this show's whole series of events kicks off with such a simple thing. The very first episode has the Don of the Cockney English family go to an address where he is killed by two Irish travellers. They were told that they were just going to kill some random nobody, so now they're on the run for killing the godfather of the white mafia, and thus the Irish traveller community is trying to protect them. Meanwhile, the white crime family is trying to find out why and who killed their boss. And not only that, but they know these travellers were just hired as hitmen, so who hired them? And that literally just makes everything spiral out of control, and from there we just get 3 seasons of absolute chaos. And some of the characters are great. The new Don of the white family, Sean Wallace, he's in his 20s, his father's just been killed, he's on the hunt for the person that did it. He's also got a brother, Billy, who wants revenge for his father's death, and their mother is played by the woman who played Catelyn Stark in Game of Thrones, so that's the Wallace family. Then you've got this black guy called Elliot, and he starts season 1 as an undercover cop trying to infiltrate the Wallace family, but his character has such a roller coaster of an arc throughout this show. He goes from undercover cop to having to work for the actual investors to then wanting to take a seat at the table of the top crime families himself. Definitely the most all over the place character arc in the show so far, but I've been loving it, and also he's one of the best fighters, so whenever he's in a scene and action kicks off, you know he's about to fuck someone up. Then you have Lale, who was a Kurdish freedom fighter back in her homeland, probably the only non-selfish crime family in the show, because they're all just trying to make money within London for themselves, and she's actually trying to make money to siphon it back over to help the Kurds fight the rebellion. And because of that, she's also one of the best fighters in the show. Like, think about it. She's now in London dealing with some rude gangsters with pistols. She's been in an absolute battleground before, fighting people with assault rifles and grenades and dodging missiles and shit, so this London thing is light work to her. Another character I love is Luan, who's the leader of the Albanian mafia. He's such a good family man, he's very passionate, he just wants to protect his family and make money, and throughout the show you just can't help but find yourself rooting for him by the end of it. Trust me, if you haven't seen this show, you will love Luan. He's such a great character. And I don't want to spoil it, but they get quite ruthless and Game of Thronesy with the characters they choose to eliminate throughout these 3 seasons as well. Nobody is safe, trust me. And the strange thing about that is, also other times, characters can feel invincible. You know, they'll get shot 4 times and you'll think, oh, they're dead, but no, they're not dead. In this show, to make sure a character is dead, you have to see them get shot in the head like thrice. But I like that, because this show isn't going for that somber, realistic, dramatic tone like The Sopranos or a Boardwalk Empire or a Peaky Blinder. This is a hyper-realistic action crime drama. You know, this is, again, Gareth Evans. He directed The Raid. So, you know, in a Sopranos show, if a guy was going to get killed, he'd get walked into a room and then, hey, I shot him. Right? But in this show, if a guy's about to get killed, you will hear some pumping action music build up in the background, and then all hell will break loose into an absolute bullet ballet of beautifully choreographed violence. You get the best of both worlds with this, if you like your action. And I could go on about this show forever. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but okay, here's the thing. If you're still like, I don't want to watch this show, but I like action, all I'll say is go on YouTube and look for the episode where a Danish hit squad attacks a farmhouse with a bullet factory underneath it. I don't want to explain to you guys how this is set up again, in case you haven't seen the show, but wow, what an episode. The entire episode is just this siege, and it is absolutely incredible. It could have easily have been put on the big screen for the action that they have in just that singular episode. No other TV show is delivering action of that level. No way. And they are, I believe, filming season 4 at the start of 2026, so unfortunately this is one of those shows where I was fortunate enough to be able to binge the first 3 seasons, but now I have to painstakingly wait 2 years for the 4th season to drop, but I will be there when it does because they have a fan in me. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, become a part of the Patreon gang and come and support me. Until next time, I've been BA, peace.